Racing at the Vaal rather on Thursday after what was a rather quiet week. No racing on Monday and no racing on Wednesday. So it is just the two Johannesburg meetings that are for the first half of the week, and 8 races on the card. We are racing on the Vaal Classic track, and joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Raheel. Nice to be back part of it. Obviously a good day on Tuesday at the Vaal with a jackpot arriving that I tipped and finding a few horses at bigger prices. I've gone for the pick 6 on this Vaal card, so that probably shows a touch of confidence when it comes to this Vaal meeting on the classic track on this Thursday. But I think it would be unfair not to start with the promise and the hype around the Betway Spring Challenge at Turfentine on Saturday. There's a pick 6 carryover attached to that meeting, but that is shaping up to be a lovely card. I've seen some spring challenges that are very, very strong, and I've seen some spring challenges that aren't very strong. This one is very, very good on Saturday, but we'll cross that bridge later in the week. We hopefully can get back into the payout queue on this Thursday, and maybe we can make it 100% strike rate this week. Who knows? That'll be great.
Yeah, it's a big weekend for racing. Of course, on Sunday we've got the big race over in France at Paris-Longchamp, which I'm sure lots of viewers will be tuned to. And of course on Saturday we've got feature racing out at Turfentine, so plenty to look forward to. But on Thursday, race number 1, 20 past 12 is the off time. 1,000 meters the distance. It is a maiden plate that will get the day started. Work Riders event, and Tiger Storm is the favourite at 6 to 10. 3 to 1 remains off the day. 4 to 1 Santiago's Pride, and then it is 8 to 1 and better ball those. Now, Tiger Storm, last time out, I think his run is best ignored. On that run to Johnny Appleseed, he's got the measure of remains of the day quite comfortably. He's got about 7 lengths to play with there, and strictly on that form, he could well be a hard horse to beat.
Raheel, best form, not a contest. Number 4, Tiger Storm should win. It's a piece of Matswelo, got among the winners for Fabian Habib just a few days earlier in a recent Work Riders meeting. Obviously, that last run is best ignored. If he does put up a stinker like that, then that would be a little bit of a worry. But there was a valid excuse for that, returning not striding out. And I think if he does put that run behind him, as you say, on the Johnny Appleseed form, does have 1 or 2 of his main dangers held. So, yep, number 4, Tiger Storm, does set a standard, pretty high standard, and should win the race. His danger could come in the form of number 5, Pursuit of Fame, funny enough. And Ati Fanny takes a ride for York. So the Pistons have had a very good run of late. All their horses have been knocking on the door. They run off and they do their job. Look, he's got absolutely no right to challenge Tiger Storm on the Johnny Appleseed form, so I'm not for one moment motivating that he can beat Johnny Appleseed. But with that said, I think that maybe he could sneak into the top 3, work around some swingers in the opener, and make a little bit of progress before the place accumulator pick 6 and jackpot start. It is the first leg of the bar pot. I'd bank it for Tiger Storm.
Race number 2, the start of the place accumulator, 12:55, the off-time maiden plate for fillies and mares over the 1,000 meter trip. And here there's 2 horses that dominate in the market. That's number 3, Endesio at 12 to 10, and number 4, Executrix at 16 to 10. It's 5 to 1 on a jet plane, 8 to 1 and better ball those. Now, when we have a look at these 2 horses, Alistair, number 4, there was lots of support for her and confidence around her on debut, where she was quite a strong front runner. She over-raced out in front and then she fell into a hole. But then last time out, I thought she ran a very nice race behind Kings again. She just found a couple too good. We've seen that form line franked with the filly that finished second in the race. I think it was come through to win. And she could be the horse that they all need to beat here.
Yeah, I'm quite strong on number 4, Executrix, Raheel. Never mind all that. You're obviously good improvement from run 1 to run 2, but the key here is obviously dropping back to 1,000 meters. It looks like her way is to tear away. She didn't have the legs of a 1450 on debut. She might eventually have the legs. The mare Malta Familius, of course, has a lot of speed in the pedigree. I think she reached 1,400 meters in time. But the point is, last time over 1,200 meters, there was more improvement when using the same tactics, when going off to the front, and again, just folding the deck very, very late behind Kings again. So I think coming to 1,000 meters on a very fast track out of the Vaal, she's going to take all the beating this door traverse and get it, and I'd expect her to just about win the race. I do have respect for number 3, Endesio. Obviously, Paul Matchett, and no jockey declared at the time of recording, unfortunately, with his daughter of Quirari, but second on debut to Royal Horizon. Royal Horizon was fair straight out the maiden, so not bad at all, but I still think that Executrix, it could be a little bit of it stares you in the face with this horse dropping back to 1,000 meters. So I'm going to tip her on top. I'd be prepared to bank her in the place accumulator, I must be honest.
Yeah, that is number 4, Executrix, in race number 2. Moving along to race number 3 now. This will be the start of the pick 6. The maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1,450 meters. 1:30 is the off time. And the favourite in the third race is number 8, Greenhouse, at 16-10. Faithful Mistress at 18-10. Saudi Sweep 3-1. And then it is 8-1. And Better Barlow, scratch number 6, Explosive Gift, who could have been one to show a bit of improvement in this contest. Alistair, what's your thoughts on race number 3? Do you have a top choice? And also number 9, Instant Attraction. I thought at 8-1 there could be a bit of value here.
I've left her out the pick 6, I must be honest, which is my suggested bet. I've gone with 4 horses here. It's made it a little easier with the scratching of number 6, Explosive Gift, I must be honest, because she looked open to improve. But I think the lightly raced horses, number 7 and 8, are probably the keys here. Number 7, Faithful Mistress, put up a reasonable debut behind Lady Ellie Mo. I don't know overall how that form line is going to work out, and she's not blessed with the best draw, but 8 out of 8 is not a train smash. If you're looking at 8 out of 14, 8 out of 16, you probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. She's a well-bred daughter of Master of My Fate. She will appreciate the step up in distance. So she's the horse that I'm tentatively going to lead with, but you can make exactly the same case for number 8, Greenhouse. Keratila Kajedi retains the ride for Michael de Kock. On debut behind Soot again. Not sure how that form line's going to work out. She's also got a bit of a deep draw to overcome, but in a small field it shouldn't be all that difficult. She too steps up in distance. She's from the whole Illa de Vittoria, Illabella family. Orchid Island, I think, is a half sister to Illabella. So number 8, Greenhouse, has any amount of improvement to come. So those two just make a lot of appeal because they're upwardly mobile. But I have backed them up with 2 other horses who, to be fair, look fairly average, but must have some sort of winning claims. Number 2, Saudi Sweep, the daughter of Pomodoro, has her first run in Joburg in a while. Kelvin Habib takes a ride for Sean Terry. Terry's about to come alive. This is when he normally does. And number 3, African Beauty, I think is probably got the best form lines in this race, and also gets Pierre Stradham on board. I mean, Pierre's just riding them to sleep for fun at the moment. Third run after a minor break. I'd expect her to be a little bit fitter. And even though she was well beaten by Barbara and Crimson Cloud, I think those form lines are probably better than the other horses that bring reasonable numbers into the race. So that's why I have respect for number 3, African Beauty, perhaps at a little bit of a bigger price. I think that she'll go quite close here. So 4 horses for me, that's half the field in the opening leg of the pick 6.
Yeah, number 3 is at around 10-1 in the market and could be a nice inclusion if she has to arrive in race number 3. Moving along to race number 4 next. This will be the start of Jackpot 1, and it's over 1,450 meters, maiden plate. 2:05 is the off time. You've got the favourite here, Gavin Lorena and P. Labuskakni, that team up here. And the son of Hat Puntano, Hat Trick or Treat. Last time out, he just found 1 too good in the form of Red Legend in a race that looked to be a 2-horse race. And he's now at 9-10, 3-1, Exceedingly Glam, 4-1, Arctic Owl, 14-1, and Better Barlow. Is this horse a banker in the second leg of the pick 6?
No, it's a race in Tura here. I've got number 10, Exceedingly Glamour as well, the daughter of What a Winter. She's a full sister to a sprinter who Lucky Hood of Arcus has trained to some black top. Got a bit of time for her coming back from 119 days off. She made some appeal on debut and coming from quite a long way back. She was awfully green. She can only learn with a run under the belt. So I've got time for number 10, Exceedingly Glam. And also when you consider Hat Trick or Treat, look, he looks a winner in waiting. If he doesn't win here, he's going to win soon. I think Philip Labuskakni is a very shrewd trainer. He knows exactly what he's doing. But third to Musical Score, funny enough, was probably the best run because just behind him was a horse called Alone Time, who subsequently won and then ran a very nice race straight out the maidens. The run to Skittle Skies was obviously good. The second to Red Legend was good, but Red Legend could not possibly miss. I don't know what was behind Hat Trick or Treat on that occasion. There was, again, a race in 2, and something had to win, something had to run second. So he's met some pretty ordinary opposition and he's not won yet. So this is probably his best chance, but I wouldn't make him a banker. I'd go in with the 2 because I do expect this horse to improve. Number 10, Exceedingly Glam. I think that if she doesn't I think she'll do more than half the deficit. I think she'll trouble this favourite. So don't leave her out. If this first timer, for me, the only other horse that can win is good enough and is of reasonable quality. In fact, probably doesn't even have to be reasonable quality. 7 Arctic Owl could make them work a little bit, but as far as pick sixes are concerned, I can't see the first race runner home not being numbers 3 or 10. So you got a little bit of shelter from that point of view.
Yeah, I think it does look hard to look past numbers 3 and 10 here when it comes to bets like the pick six and the jackpot. But we'll follow the market with number 7 Arctic Owl. Next up, race number 5, a Pinnacle Stakes, and this is at 1440 over the 1800 meter trip, the start of Jackpot 2. Your favorite here is, just having a look, number 6, Master Christmas, 5-2 into 2-1. 3-1 Meridius, 33-10 about Good Counsel, who's also found a support, 9-2 into 33-10. None other 5-1 into 4-1. And then you've got East Coast 7-1, Bingo at 12-1, and Home of the Brave at 14-1. Now, Alistair, we're just speaking off air. I really like number 5, Good Counsel, and I think with the weight on his back, courtesy, 2 kgs less, so 48 kgs to shoulder. Distance, maybe a touch on the sharp side, but I liked his run 2 starts back behind Meridius, and on the basis of that run, he should have the beating of Meridius quite comfortably, although, Meridius is certainly better over this trip.
Yeah, when he returned from a break as well, there was a lot of substance to that run from Good Counsel, returning from a 3-month layoff when finishing second to Meridius. Now, the weight turnaround is something to behold here, and obviously by virtue of Niven Nastidi taking the 2 kilos off the back, 6 kilos for less than 2 lengths. I mean, that should be enough. Yes, you spot on. Good Counsel's a better horse over further. If this was further than 2,000 meters, I'd probably bank a Good Counsel under the conditions of the race. But over 1,800 meters, Meridius has always got to say he won the Jubilee. Around this type of distance and around that type of class, he's not too far away from the best as number 2 Meridius. So from that point of view, it'll be foolhardy to leave him out. The Canford Cliffs trained by Tony Peter, whose yard looks like they're coming to form. Those are my 2 leaders here. Number 6, Master Christmas, loves the Vaal, like so many of Lucky Utilakis' horses. 3 from 4 at the course. Again, no weight on the back, seeking a hat-trick of wins. He's going through the divisions nasty. This is not a true handicap. He's got a £6 penalty to deal with in a Pinnacle Stakes, but obviously with it being a Pinnacle Stakes, he carries no weight. Lucky Utilakis wouldn't test the waters with this horse if he didn't believe he was up to the task. So I'll make him a bit of a chance. Pound for pound, the best horse in the race is Bingwa. 1,800 metres might stretch him a little bit. Again, what race is he going to be targeting? I'm sure he's going to be having a look at the Allied Steel Road on a Mission Mile. It wouldn't surprise me to see this being a prep run going into the mile, just put a bit extra mileage into the legs, skip the Betway Joburg Spring Challenge this weekend, and perhaps take an alternative route in there with no other races suiting. So, number 1, put it like this: do I particularly like Bingwa? No, but I'd kick myself if he were to win and I left him out. So that's why he's in, because he's done me a lot of favours along the way. So 1, 2, 5 and 6, but 5 and 2 my top 2 in the race.
Yeah, that's Meridius and Good Counsel, 2 and 5 in numerical order. Moving along to race number 6 next. This is Fillies and Mares 91 handicap over the 1600 meter trip. 3:15 is the off time, and your favorite in race number 6, having a look here, is Across the Pond at 28-10. Number 1 Batula at 4-1. 4-1 Vulcanite, 6-1 Little Mary Sunshine, and then it is 7-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, race 6, number 5, Across the Pond. I think that she's a filly that's certainly improving. She won a nice race last time out, but this horse Batula, last time out behind Give Me a Shot, that was a top run, finishing just under 2 lengths in a Pinnacle Stakes, and she's down in class for this race, taking a horse who's been running in handicaps versus a horse that's been running against a lot stronger. I must say, I think Batula could be ready to win now.
I agree. Just talking about number 5, Across the Pond, she has just come out. She got scratched, about 20 minutes before we went to air, as has Two-Step Queen, Free in Seattle in the next race. So just take note of those 2 St. John Grey withdrawals. Literally, as we started the show, they've come out. So I've had to adjust my play a little bit. I agree with you about number 1, Batula. Remember her on Hollywoodbets Durbanville when she won the big Bloodstock South Africa race, beating Oriental Bouquet, and surviving an objection on that occasion. This was her first run in a handicap in a while. She did one start in a handicap when she needed it, and she lost the jockey at the start, so that's best ignored. She could be very well treated. She's got a lot of weight to shoulder, does number one, Batula, but there's no doubt pound for pound that she's the best horse in the race. So third run after a break, pedigree yard and form. There's a lot to like about number one, Batula here. So she is my leader in the pecking order, and I've gone in with 2, 6, and 9 as alternatives. Number 2, Little Mary Sunshine. She's been on the boil. Gave a lot of weight away to Olivia's Way last time out. Stratum's back on board from draw number 1, which has got to be a positive. She's fit. She's obviously well. Dupoc's backing her up quickly. Number 6, Spirited Girl, was a surprise winner last time under Jared Penny when beating Godspeed by a short head. She's got the worst of the draw. She's drawn 8 out of 8, but over a mile on the Vaal Classic track, she should have a little bit of time to overcome things. She steps up in distance. Will she reach the trip? That is a big question mark, but I like enough of what I saw last time. And then number 9, Courageous, even though she's 1 kilogram under sufferance here, she's a lot better than, she looks like she's coming to hand, and she could do a little bit of damage here with the lightweight under Caden Brewer. Expecting her to go even better than what she has done of late. She's definitely good value for money to get into the top 3, number 9, Courageous. So, as mentioned, 1, 2, 6, and 9, but Petula does set a pretty high standard here, having run in feature races that the others just simply haven't run in.
Race number 7, next up, penultimate race on the card. This is over 1,600 meters. The fillies and mares 73 handicap, 1550 is the off time. And Willow Wild is the top one here in the market at 5-2. You heard from Alistair there, two-step queen was another scratch in. Got Free in Seattle at 4-1, 7-1 Easy on Me. It's her way, and then it is 10-1 and better bar those. Now, race number 7. What's your thoughts? Willow Wild, nice run last time out behind Risky Business, back in third, and she remains on a mark of 81, 1,600 meters. Should be no concern. What's your thoughts here?
Very, very tricky race. We also made a bit of a mistake. The two-step queen is a runner. Free in Seattle's a scratching in this race, so just take note of that. So I've gotten quite a few horses here. I've got 1, 2, 5, and 7 as my selections. Number 1, Flamboyant Flyer, 2, two-step queen, Path Play with Fire, also number 7, It's Her Way, and 8, Willow Wild. Let's start with Willow Wild, seeing as that was the question that you asked. The Daughter of One World is not the freest and easiest mover around. She has been scrapped at the start before, but Chase Morjean sort of trusts her, knows her, and likes her. So he'll probably give her the benefit of the doubt. As you mentioned, was a nice run to Risky Business last time. Risky Business is going to be the most improved horse probably in the country, funny enough, the way that she's got on a streak of, 5 wins in a row, and she's getting more and more impressive every time she runs. St. John Gray's done an unbelievable job with Risky Business. But then other horses come into the reckoning. Number 1, Flamboyant Flyer. Her highest rating was a 70. She's down to a 74. She's back against her own 6. Second run after a break as well. From that point of view, I've got a little bit of time for number 1, Flamboyant Flyer, getting into the mix. Number 2, Two-Step Queen's just in good form. On a line through Willow Wild, she should have a chance of finishing right next to Willow Wild again. So if you like one, you've got to quite fancy the other. 5 Play with Fire, I think, is now over a better trip back to a mile. Even though she ran nicely over 2,000 meters in her last 2 starts, I don't quite think that she was able to stretch over that trip. So I've got a bit of time for her. 12 and a bib takes a ride for Fonny Broncos. And then number 7, It's Her Way, for me is the most interesting runner in the race. It's a second one after a break. She's got runs to some of the best 2-year-old fillies of last season on the half outs in the form of Little Ballerina. She's not as good as Little Ballerina as the margins suggest. But I think that number 7, It's Her Way, could be in the calmer type of waters here to run a much better race, as she has been showing in her 2 runs back from a break. So she could represent a little bit of value here, number 7, It's Her Way. So very, very trappy race before we move into what I think is a banker in the last.
Yeah, bank in the last, as we heard from Alistair. We'll touch on that in a moment. Just to reiterate one more time, a scratch in race 7 is the 6 horse Free in Seattle, and I see number 2, Two-Step Queen. Raymond Danielson takes a ride there for St. John Gray, and the markets obviously will be adjusted with that scratch in. Moving along to race number 8, and the 8th race on the card here. This will be over 1,450 meters. It's an MR 74 handicap. 25 past 4 is the off time. And Risky Business, she steps out here again. She's a 5-time winner. She's won her last 4. She last time out beat One Religion quite convincingly, but I'm guessing the bank is not risky business. It's got to be number 3, Confederate.
It's number 3, Confederate. Heel spot on. Gavin Arena takes it right for Fabian Habib. I thought his last run straight out the maidens of a rating of 90 was full of merit in running 3.5 lengths to Haslo Grande. I know that he won a fairly weak maiden in this penultimate start when beating Towers of Gold. Towers of Gold was a 5 to 10 favourite, got turned over from start to finish by Confederate. But I like the profile of this horse. I like the fact that he's going to go potentially places that no one else in this race has been. He's got a lot more to come than a horse like Risky Business. I mean, I wonder how much more Risky Business can do. For the first time on her winning streak, she's actually got a respectable penalty. When I say respectable penalty, she's just been winning by such fine margins that the handicap has not been able to have a real stab, and now sort of come in with £8, and as a result gone up £20 in the space of 4 wins. That just sounds hard, and she's also taking a male opposition who she's beaten before, to be fair. But yeah, number 3, Confederate. I like the fact that Gavin sticks with the Son of Fire away. I like the fact that he's actually dropping in distances. It looks like he's got the gate speed and the kick to be effective over a little less than a mile, certainly right now in this part of his career. And when you look around at the lighter weights, I just don't see too much else here troubling a horse that's so upwardly mobile. So banker number 3, Confederate. It's a long wait for a banker. It's hopefully not going to be a wait in vain, but I think this horse is just better than anyone else in this race.
Yeah, his current price of 18 to 10 could well be attractive to a number of punters out there, especially those that like to have a go on the head. 18 to 10 looks to be a good price about a horse that could be a lot better than the horses that he meets on Thursday. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and we'll take you through Alistair's suggested bet. It is a pick 6 on the day, and the pick 6 gets underway with the running of race number 3, and the third race on the card gets underway at 1:30. So make sure you get those pick 6 bets on. Alistair, take it away.
Yep, so as you mentioned, pick 6, 2, 3, 7 and 8, Saudi Sweep, African Beauty, Faithful Mistress and Greenhouse by 3 and 10, Hat Trick or Treats and Exceedingly Glam. I must be honest, I'll be shouting for Exceedingly Glam there at the price because we could knock out a few tickets. By 1, 2, 5 and 6, Bingo, Meridius, Good Counsel and Master Christmas. Then 1 Batula, 2 Little Mary Sunshine, 6 Spirited Girl and 9 Courageous. Got in with a heap of horses in the penultimate leg. If you're uncomfortable, go field. But 1 Flamboyant Flyer, 2 Two-Step Queen, 5 Play with Fire, 7 It's Her Way and 8 Willow Wild. And then banker in the last, number 3 Confederate. That's my play for the pick 6. Not breaking the bank, saving a bit for Saturday.
Alistair, thanks very much. Looking forward to the card on Saturday, and hopefully Thursday goes according to plan, and the punters can build that kitty for Saturday.
Yep, cheers, Raheel. Yep, that's obviously the point. We're not too far after payday. Feature races coming back into the half-outs, and 10 races at Durbanville to go along with it. So it's a feast of racing, lots of money-making opportunities, and let's hope we can clear these 2 hurdles on Thursday and Friday before we get there. If we do, then we could be in for a big one this weekend. And even on Sunday at Hollywoodbets Greyville, the Beach Beauty Mile, 2 very, very nice pinnacle stakes. As you mentioned, the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe on Sunday as well in France. So, yep, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else but watching and participating in racing.
Yeah, absolutely. All the best with racing on Thursday out at the Vaal.